Dale. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good to hear that. Thank you so much for taking time out of what I know is a really busy schedule.
Yes.
I know you're coming away from work just to sit here and chat with us for a bit, so we really do appreciate that. We're always excited to be able to talk with our students and graduates, and your story is even a little more interesting because you have also been teaching part-time for us as well.
Yes.
And so we love that when we have graduates and we really fully believe in the quality of the instruction and the training that we provide, and when we can hire them back as our own, we're always very, very proud of that. So
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a 2017 graduate of our Automotive Systems Technology program,
Yep.
degree program.
Yep.
And I just wondered if you would be able to kind of tell us what started you on that path. What got you interested in automotive systems?
Just as a child, I've always enjoyed cars. I've always, been around it. Most of the men in my family actually work on vehicles to some degree, whether it's their own, for their friends, professionally, whatever the situation is. It's always had a hand on me since I was a child.
So that just sort of led, I'm sure, to a natural curiosity of watching relatives work and
Holding flashlights and go grab me this.
Yes. And so at what point did you start to think, well, this might be something I'd like to do for a profession?
Once I got older and people started to ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? The only thing I've ever really been around is cars, so it was just kind of the guided direction for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And did someone recommend the program here to you, or how did you come to know that we even had a training program for automotive?
This was the local community college for where I live, so I just came up and asked if they had something, and of course they did, and they said we have an excellent automotive program here, and I was like, well, okay, sure, let me try that out. And
well, that was a big step. Sometimes it's like a leap of faith when you don't know exactly what that educational journey looks like and where it's going to take you.
And especially with me, not going to sugarcoat it, I struggled through high school. School wasn't for me, just in general. But it was definitely different than what I thought it was going to be, as in a good thing, compared to like high school. High school just wasn't for me.
It's not for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Understandable. So what do you feel like has been the most beneficial for you? Let me back up first and say you're employed. Where do you work in addition to teaching for us?
I'm currently at Hubert Vester Toyota.
Okay, all right. And what do you do there?
I am a technician there. My status there is a master diagnostic technician.
Okay.
So I just work on cars that come through. No matter what the issue is, it can get pulled into my bay. On any given day, whatever the situation is. So basically, I work on just about anything that comes to the shop.
So people like me who walk in and say, it's making a funny sound,
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
Yes, unfortunately, I have to find that funny sound, whatever that is.
Well, hats off to you, because I feel like that would be a challenge for sure. So do you feel like, how long was it between the time you graduated our program in 2017? Were you already employed, or did you at that point seek employment?
So actually, the thing about that is because I was here, the head instructor there, Bobby Brown, he actually will reach out to places and say, I've got guys in my my program that have a bunch of potential. These are guys that you might want to, grab before they walk across the stage. So he went out and actually got me employment while I was still in the program, and I was able to do like a part-time position at the dealership while continuing the program, so that way I can graduate.
That's great. That's awesome. I love that that works out that way. Again, it's another testament to that is just what our instructors do. They really, if they have a student that they are confident in their capabilities and they believe in, then they do a great job of putting them forward to the workforce, and that speaks highly of you. I can assure you that it's only our best and our brightest that we would go out on a limb and say, hey, you gotta see what this guy can do. So, very cool. So overall, now that you are in the teaching role, how has that been different compared to being a student sitting on the other side of that desk?
It's a lot different. I can definitely see both sides to it because I was a student and now I'm a teacher. So whenever Bobby Brown used to, do your homework, like all teachers do, now I'm the guy saying, do your homework, and it's just homework, But it won't just homework whenever I was a student because I was balancing my work, my outside life along with the program. It's definitely, I love teaching. I do. I like, reaching out to the students, and I was also, a student, so I can connect with them,
You know how it feels to be
Yes.
in their shoes.
Yeah, I can connect with them, and I feel like that's also helping them is that I was a student. So they'll say something to me, and I'm like, hey, it wasn't that long ago, I was sitting exactly where you are.
Right, you get it, you understand the
Yes.
challenges and the obstacles. I'm curious about your class makeup. I know you teach in the evenings typically.
Yes.
So is that a traditional age, like right out of high school students, adult students, a mixture? Do you?
We accept everybody.
Sure.
Anybody, it doesn't matter. Age, it's not age at all discriminative, it's anybody. Anybody that is willing to learn about a vehicle, that's wanting to, gain their knowledge on how an automotive vehicle works can come and sit in my class. We would love to have them.
That's cool. That's very cool. So throughout that experience, what do you think, what guidance or advice would you give a student who may be coming right out of high school and maybe school wasn't for them because it's just not, and when you have that experience in high school, it's really common to feel like, well, all education is just going to be hard or bad or difficult. What would you say to that student that isn't sure what the path looks like?
Well, see, the thing with me was whenever I was at high school, it was just math, science, reading. I had no, I don't want to say a purpose, but I felt like it was no point in me being there. Yes, there is math. Yes, there is your English classes, but you have a purpose to be here if you enjoy working on automotive vehicles. You look forward to coming to school because what am I going to learn today? What are we going over today? Are we going to go over brakes, engines, transmissions, whatever the case is? And it's fun. It is fun whenever you enjoy what you're learning. It makes the atmosphere different. It really does. It's a whole lot different than it was for me in high school, me personally.
Absolutely. That's a great point because what year did you graduate high school, if you don't mind me asking?
It would have been 2013, but I got my GED through Wilson Community College as well.
Awesome. I always love to hear that when students start at the beginning and come all the way through and now working here as a part-time employee, so that's awesome. I was asking because, of course, like everything else, there's been so many shifts in the opportunities that are available to the high school student population, and so we have the Career and College Promise program that allows students to, while they're in high school, come over and take our classes, and you may have had or encountered some of them during your time here. But to your point about, we feel like that is so important that we give them that early exposure, and maybe if it is a student who's feeling like high school is just, it's a uphill climb every day to no avail, we give them that exposure earlier. So I think that's another thing that it's great we can provide to students in the community at whatever point they decide they want to start that journey. In retrospect, what are some of the ways that you think the training and the knowledge and the skills that you gained here with us how have they benefited you? If that is being able to get a better job, higher paying job, that kind of thing?
The best way for me to put it is it slingshotted me in there, as in I was promoted very fast compared to someone who came out of high school and just jumped into a dealership somewhere, because I had a foot ahead of them in the knowledge. So whenever it was time for them, because no matter what dealership you go to, there's specific training for each brand. I was the guy that they were willing to send first because I was the one that had the faster track option where it would have been easier to send me to training compared to someone who was less knowledgeable.
I see. So you already had the foundational skills
Yes.
and understanding of the mechanisms and the components that were required for the
Yep.
job. So that, I appreciate you bringing that up, because that is a fair point that, you know, we know there are students that immediately they either need or just want to go
Mhm.
straight into the workforce.
Yeah.
And we know that that specialized industry-specific training is provided and available to
Mhm.
them. So sometimes we have to do a little bit of coaching or persuading
Mhm.
to help a student see, well, what is the benefit? If I
Yeah.
can go right now today and I can get a job, or I can come here and go to school for 2 years. But that makes perfect sense that you had the advantage, and I can think as a hiring manager, certainly looking at 2
Yeah.
applicants
Mhm.
going, okay, well, one is just a little bit more ahead of the curve.
And to add on to that, you go into a dealership, you're going to learn that brand. Here, you're learning everything. You're learning Volkswagen, you're learning Ford, you're learning Chevrolet, you're learning everything. If it's got 4 tires on it and it drives down the road, you're going to learn about it. It doesn't matter about brand or anything. That's one good thing about here is it opens you to all avenues, to where if you go into a dealership, you're only going to learn about that particular dealership.
That does make sense. Very, very good insight. So, all right. Well, again, just in general, would you recommend, how would you suggest that we could encourage students or recruit them to come to automotive technology specifically? What are some ways that we may be able to put the program out there and let people know we're here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously go to high schools, you know, be down the doors, tell them, hey, we have a new building up there. Yes, a beautiful building,
Yes.
full of brilliant instructors who are willing to work with you and who, you know, want to help you learn automotive. So, you know, I would go to the high schools. That would be where it is, because not everybody's watching TV for commercials. Not everybody pays attention to billboards on the side of the road.
That's true.
Yeah, pamphlets, show face. Go to the high schools. That would be I feel like the biggest recruitment that you could do.
Absolutely. Well, we have pushed that hard over the past few years, and certainly will continue to do so. We've started to organize more tours for high school students,
Yeah.
especially to see the facilities,
Yeah.
because sometimes people don't have an understanding of what modern,
Yeah.
state-of-the-art, how much technology is now
Yes.
involved in
Yes.
automotive
And
systems.
we have a beautiful
Yes,
building
I've
down
seen
there.
the diagnostic
Yeah.
system too. I've
Yes,
seen that demo.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
impressive.
Yes, yeah. When you can see your reflection through the floor, you know that it's a
It is, yeah, it's top notch.
Yes.
We're pretty proud of that. Well, in closing, maybe just a fun little thing, just lighthearted to end on. No right or wrong answers, just again for fun. So, automotive theme, cars or trucks?
Okay. Trucks.
Trucks,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Trucks, so Ford or Chevy?
Ford.
Right answer.
Ford.
Yes, I come from a Ford family and was married into one, so yes, I agree there. So then, what would be your top 3, like if you could go right now today and buy any 3 vehicles you wanted, what would those be?
Obviously, if I had to right now, you know, it would be like a Ford Mustang. You know, Ford Mustang, yeah.
So what year, what new?
Yeah, I would get a new. Well, I mean, if I could choose, obviously it would be, you know, like a 1971 Mach 1 Mustang. Yeah, I love that
Oh,
body
yeah.
style. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but purchasing and, you know, trying to keep with the technology of today, I would go get a brand new Mustang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing wrong
Easier
with
to
that.
work on. Easy parts are more available
Okay.
for
New,
newer
oh
stuff.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
trust me, I know. My
Yeah.
husband, we have a 67 Cougar that lives in our garage rent free. It's his pet car. So yes, but the parts can be challenging. So, yeah.
Second car would be a Toyota Camry.
Okay,
Yeah.
can't kill them.
No, Toyota. So this is the best way I know how to put it, and I tell everybody this that asks me, what do I need to go buy? I tell them, if you want a car, go buy the car you want.
Okay.
If you plan on having it for 2 or 3 years, trading it in, getting the newest model, go do that. if you want to buy a car that's going to last longer than you, and you want to pass to your child and then to your grandchildren, go buy a Toyota. And matter of fact, go buy a Toyota from Hubert Vester Toyota.
Got to put it in place.
Yes.
I got it. All right, so number 3 then. We got the fun, we got the practical. What's the number 3? Is it a utility?
Yeah, I would say more of a SUV style. You know, just gotta keep it, you know, well rounded. I would say probably the Toyota 4Runner.
Okay.
Yeah, the Toyota 4Runner is a good vehicle. It's stout. It can do multi-purposes. It can do anything you need it to do. So.
All right. Good to know. Well, you covered all the bases there. Well, thank you again so much for coming and taking time out of a very busy schedule. I know you mentioned working through the day and then coming out and teaching for us, and we really appreciate that, and appreciate your insight. You've told me things that I didn't know and see differently, so thank you for that, and we appreciate everything that you're doing.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
It was awesome.
Good.
If there's someone you'd like to hear from, we want to know. Please send us topics and guests you'd like to see in future podcasts. Thanks so much for watching.